We can be so ready. So we don't have our introduction up of like, welcome to the Bear Collective podcast 2025.
Season 2, we're going to call it, after our little hiatus from filming and uploading.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are back, baby. There is
legit baby.
There is the Bear Collective baby.
There is.
And
there
he's so
is.
cute.
He's so cute. We love him. We love him. He's homework. I've got bigger bags under my eyes right now, but that's fine.
So we took a little break because definitely that first 3-4 months of having a baby, as we've mentioned on the podcast, we've kind of talked through your journey and birthing and gone through all the stories there. And sleep deprivation is a real thing.
Yes. There's nothing quite like it in my experience. It's amazing what the body does, and I handle it so much better than I used to handle it. Like I remember before, even considering kids, I did a couple of courses that went for weeks on US time. So I was up all night and then, most of the day too, because I'm not a good day sleeper. And I just remember like going into those weeks being like, I won't be able to survive this. And now I'm counting like 6.5 months of sleep deprivation. Yeah. And I don't feel my worst.
There's a reason they use it as a torture technique.
Oh, isn't there? Yes, yes, yes.
But also in the line of work that we do, it is that who do you become when you are tired, hungry, exhausted, or your shadow aspects come out to play.
I used to be a monster, and now I'm palatable. Ask my clients, they'll know. I'm probably still fine, but yeah, it's a different thing. Like you just have to cope and have to survive and have to get up anyway. So it's like you just do. And I know hormones are involved, but it seems a lot easier. I definitely think it's a lot easier for me than my husband too.
Interesting. Why?
Well, they don't get the hormones.
Yeah.
So for them, it probably is more of a struggle. I might be wrong. Like, feel free to check me on that.
Feel free to at me.
Yeah. But that's my observation of my man, and just it seems a little more difficult for him. Even though I'm grumpier in the mornings, but I always have been.
And we were going to meet in December and do some recording, and you had a bit of you had a bit of family stuff come up, and I had a health scare, which we're going to get into in another episode and go a bit more into that. But how are we feeling for 2025?
I've walked into 2025 hoping for like rejuvenation and redemption and expansion and all of the things. And, I can't believe as we're filming this, we're a month in. Like there's a month gone.
Secret.
And like, honestly, I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful for 2025. Maybe not for the greater world right now, but for me and my journey, I'm very hopeful. I think just stepping into being a mum, and I noticed so much resistance to that at the end of last year. And I feel like I'm finally stepping out of that and have pushed through some of that resistance and just, doing the inner work.
Yeah, it's a lifelong thing.
Isn't it? How about you? How are you feeling? Post health scare, December, post last year.
Yeah.
There's so much to Larissa's story we don't know yet. And I feel like, baby has taken up too much time, and I'm ready to get into her side a bit more.
I mean, the baby thing happens for 9 months, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is in terms of timing.
Yes. We were living it and recording at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting for me about coming to 2025, I've gone through these phases where you go into that vibe of like new year, new me, and then you go through a stage in your personal development journey where you're kind of like, I don't need a new year to decide or to make a decision. And that has been me very much for the past couple of years, is very much if I want to do something, I set my mind to it and I do it. I just decide and take action. But this year I've kind of felt that whole new year, new vibe. And I do believe also that there is a collective energy that happens, because I would say a majority of the people do buy into that new year cycle.
Yes.
So there's this undercurrent on a bigger scale of energy that you can't help but feel. And so, yeah, I feel on fire this year.
Bring it.
Yeah. Tell the world that I'm coming.
Bring it in. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think my spark is back. My joy is back. I've been on, I mean, I started a challenge with myself last year to walk 10,000 steps a day. First, it was just about one day. Then it was about getting to 30 days. Then it was like, for shits and giggles, let's try 100 days. And I'm now 182.
Look, you're looking at me like I know. I don't know.
My phone app.
Yes,
it tracks it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I've decided to do that for 365 days and take that on as a challenge, a Misogi challenge.
Yeah.
So there's a chance. A Misogi challenge, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a Japanese concept where you pick one big thing where you define your year so that you can look back and be like, that's the year I, did this particular challenge, or I completed a marathon, or that was the year I got married, or that was the year I had a baby. Like
that was my Misogi last year.
That was your Misogi last year. And it's this thing where, yes, you do have those big milestones, but also to that there is an element where you do something so big or out of your comfort zone that there is a 50% chance that you will not achieve it as well as achieving it.
Right. So when you do achieve it, it's like very special, very poignant.
Yeah, well, it also keeps the drive and the momentum for you to go. If it's too easy, then it's not.
Yeah,
it's not a challenge, right?
Yeah, there's no growth in easy.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you think about your pregnancy journey, for example, you've got to go through the discomfort of, morning sickness and your body expanding and growing and changing and your hormones growing and changing, and then going through that, birthing cycle, something for a first time that you've never done before, you've never experienced before. And there's a lot of obstacles and discomfort that can come through that. It is in and of itself a challenge. The same with planning a wedding.
Yeah.
Bridezilla, groomzilla can come out. Like you can see your partner in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Or it could be the most chilled thing. But again, it's expansion and growth in and of itself of planning such a big event.
I even used to probably feel like planning a big overseas, like exploratory holiday was like that. I'd be like, all of the logistics, like how am I ever going to plan this?
I get mine taken care of. I worked in corporate for 15 years, organizing everybody else's logistics, high up supporting execs. So whenever I went on overseas holidays, I'm like, pick me somewhere where they do all my transport, all my hotels. A good portion of like half my food is already like taken care of. And I can just show up. That's my I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a different vibe. My last overseas trip, which was quite a while ago now, just with life. But yeah, I'm very much the like, we want to hire the car and just drive anywhere and
you can have those breaks, but
throw it to the wind. Yeah, in Jamaica, I don't recommend it. We saw some things. We even had a guy jump in the back of our car at one point when our doors were unlocked. Yeah, it was interesting, but that's how it goes. It's part of the fun. It's part of the story now, and I love that.
Yeah,
but back to now.
Yeah, so I think I'm excited for this year, and there's a lot of I've invited in discomfort through this challenge.
Yes.
So I'm definitely being presented with discomfort for that growth, which excites me.
Yes.
So receiving the discomfort of things and being like, okay, I see you, world.
That is so relevant. I mean, I don't know if you felt this, but with those planets that all aligned earlier this week, or actually last week, if you think about it. Did you hear about this?
Tap into it.
Look, I don't even know the name, which planets. I have an astrologer that I talk to for this stuff, but I felt, and my husband had the same thing. So it was like our household basically just had a day of like nothing going right. And it was just really testing us at every turn. And then the next day was exactly the same. Like, you know, we ended up having to sit down and go, okay, what is this trying to teach us, and like nut it out for the both of us. And a big one for me was around like my image and how much I'm attached to that, and not my appearance image, but like, you know, my image as a, you know, oh, I'm a this, I'm a that, what I'm identifying as, like a bit of the ego and identity. And it was really challenging me like to shed that identity in so many different ways. And it turned out different things were happening for my husband, but it was all about the same thing. So I feel like for me this year is going to be the discomfort around letting go of a lot of that identity stuff. And that'll be interesting because I have a lot of ideas around work, and a lot of my identity is tied to my work in a way.
Absolutely.
So it'll be I mean, guys, let's watch this evolve.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And just in hearing you say that, I didn't know about the planetary shifts, but I'm nearing my cycle, so I have 2 clumsy days, so it could have been the same thing when I just, you know, I put it off to, oh yes, that's just, you know, part of the cycle, 2 clumsy days, nothing goes right, just laugh it off. So
yeah,
that could have been that happening, but also I think definitely with the goals and where I'm at and the fire and the energy that I have for this year, it is actually about shifting identity, which you need to unlearn and let go of certain parts of you that are no longer serving this version of you in order to step into your next cycle, your next phase, your next level up, your next evolution. So that's where the fire in the belly comes from. Right. So I think it very much ties into that.
Yeah. I even, like with my therapist identity, I've even learned, I give her like a space. She puts on a goddess dress and she goes through like a Narnia wardrobe, and she goes and plays in a pine forest when I don't need her around. I find I have to do that quite a lot socially now, even, you know, just to not be analysing and helping and supporting and switch different elements off. But yeah.
Well, what came to mind for me then was just like a car. You got to shift gears and allow parts of you to be expressed and parts of you not. And this is so interesting in terms of the work that we do. It can be very easy to take it home, but then also into your just everyday life where you want to help and be of service. And you actually have to step back from playing that role, that part of your identity and expressing it, to let the other person take up space and let them go through and evolve through what they need to in order to learn their own lessons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, we are all here for the lessons, aren't we? There are lessons in everything, even a broken beach cabana or a bad haircut.
Wink, wink.
Wink to the man who knows what we're talking about. Yeah.
I can't get that image in my mind right now.
Sorry, I've stumped Larissa. My husband got a very bad haircut earlier this week, and it was, if anyone knew Hey Arnold and like his best friend in Hey Arnold's best friend, Google it. But I think what makes me so excited about, you know, the energy that we're in and what we're both like willing to face as we go into this year, and planetary shifts and all of the things,
internal shifts
as well. I'm really excited for how that's going to show up in this podcast. And I think it's my intent that I'm evolving and growing with all of you and you, Larissa, and that I'm openly sharing that so that, you know, hopefully if it resonates and if you're looking for, you know, exactly what we're talking about, it's inspiring and it helps pave your own path. It's good to be back.
I agree. And this is the thing about starting anything, which we always said when we filmed our first episode, we were like, we will look back on this and probably laugh.
Oh, yeah.
But also at that point, we were so proud because the hardest thing is taking the first step.
Yeah.
And we're doing this in front of an audience that will, and it's living on the internet, so it's living forever.
Sorry.
It's going. I think it's all been sweet.
No, it's good.
You know, that's going to live on forever. And there's a cool thing about that. And there's lessons in that about accepting yourself in the present moment, being able to learn, being able to fail, being able to evolve, being able to go through iterations. One of the things that I talk to my clients about and people in my network is on Netflix, there is a Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary. Don't have to be a fan. It's literally just how you can see seasons of his life. Highly recommend, go and watch it. You see him go through his bodybuilding phase, making that decision and then deciding that he wants to be a movie star. And it takes him 5 years. 5 years to get like his first role. But the pursuit of that, the perseverance of that is incredible. And then how he switches into being, you know, in politics and being a governor. And this is what life is about. So this is where this podcast will have evolutions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we are human beings who choose to evolve.
Yes.
And not stay fixed to those identities and have those aspirations and those goals and those dreams. And we are in pursuit of them.
And part of that is even, you know, if you have to pause those for a time to shift gears and focus somewhere else, you allow yourself to do that without shame or criticism or, you know, we paused the podcast for life and, you know, it was necessary. And I don't know about you, but it's made, you know, coming back seem
fresher,
extra exciting and fresh. And we've tweaked a few things here and there that you'll all get to experience. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I guess something that this has actually been a theme with my clients recently is like learning to not hold shame and to forgive those past versions of yourself. And that's kind of what we're talking to, you know, as you evolve. Yeah, you leave versions of you behind in a way. They might be walking alongside you still in some way, but sometimes you leave them behind, and rather than turn back into the past and, you know, hold hate or anger or shame around it, like hold love and compassion, because, you know, you were still you were still light, you still had love, like you were still learning and unlearning, and that's okay.
So 2025,
welcome to the evolution.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like we should rebrand our podcast name to that. Welcome to the evolution. That was epic, Jasmine.
Sometimes the brain just like snaps into gear.
Sometimes, all the time.
Sometimes she turns off. There is no denying that. There is no denying that.
Well, welcome to the evolution and welcome to 2025. I hope you stay along for the journey and share this with us. Yeah. We're pretty excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, come learn. There's so much to learn about Larissa.
It's an us thing.
I'm done. No, I'm still here. I'm still here. No, we can't wait to see you next time. So like, subscribe, share, do all the things, please.
Yeah. See you later.
See you soon.
Bye.